Alright guys, day 2. We've got most of the parts cleaned up here in the Dmax. And pretty much I just found out that my back plates, they've been rubbing up against my disc, my rotor for a while. So it's like something hit the inside of it, and that has been screeching for a couple years. I thought it was just a brake pads. So I'm going to do something to get these guys, put them on the bench. I'm going to bend them back, maybe throw a coat of paint on them, and then we will be back. Actually, this is the driver's side. Take a look at the passenger side. I already bent this one back, but it had the same condition, just in one spot, a little bit smaller. Something hit it in the back side along the way. It might have been before I bought the truck. But yeah, either way, we're just gonna get these guys back in the shape that they need to be, so they're not rubbing. Maybe throw a coat of paint on it. Parts on the truck don't look as good as I want them to look, but I'll take it apart later and paint and everything. Just got most of the grease off of everything from the leaking CV that I had. So I'll get these guys on the bench, bend them back, and we will be back in a second. Looking pretty good. I wonder if I got cheetah.
We'll find out. I thought I was pressing it, but I didn't hear the click, you know? I mean, like, I felt it, but I didn't hear it. That's what she said. Fuck, I can't sit there anymore. Okay. Bye-bye. Feedback. That's gay. Pay all that money, don't even get ceramics. Oh, yeah, if you do more than one coat.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. I'm using some high heat header paint. It's rated for 2,000 degrees. A little crazy for brakes, but it's definitely gonna do the job. I just want to coat these guys real quick before I throw them on. trucks need a little love for a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. Keep doing that torque right there, that freaking right.
Yeah. According to your eye, it looks like it.
When I was sanding these things down, it really brought the characteristics of the dents out, so you can see like a lot better what hit it from the backside. What's up, base dude? That's what
Oh, that came off of Uncle Donald's truck.
Actually, it had a lot of grease still in there, dude. Those bearings are good. So I think I'm going to take the bearings, I'm going to take the end of the axle yoke, and I'm going to do something with it. And I'm definitely going to take the cup and do something.
Totally me. You want to try the other board?
No? The other board rolls better than that one, actually. Oh, I forgot. My lanyards have ceramic bearings.
Your what?
My lanyards board. Remember I got the ceramic bearings from Chris?
Oh, yeah. Alright.
Right, yeah, they were definitely dirty.
It's fun to come over here.
Definitely dirty.
Get real fat.
But there's still potential left in them, dude. I was just mad that I paid that much money for them, and then I had to clean them. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Whose clip bars are? I'm not sure, bud. Been there for a while. Bend your knees a little bit. Remember the first time I went down that road, Greg, in Hermosa? Man, I almost shit my pants, bro.
Oh, that steep drop in and then the slope up?
Yeah, or I almost hit that Escalade last time.
Yeah.
Yep, because I was on the board that I brought here, and it had those loose trucks on it, and it got nasty speed wobble, dude.
Damn. It's a bit too fast for him all the way up there. Carve harder. Do more carving. Kill your speed. Carving.
I want more. Some more. Yeah.
It's a long board, bruh. Super old too, that's why it's flexy like that. It feels like a bamboo board.
Yeah.
Bless you, bud. That's a breaker bar, buddy. That's a, shoot, what is that? 18-inch breaker bar? 3/8 drive?
Or you put this all the way in and zip it up.
It doesn't fit, bud.
Why it doesn't fit all the way?
It's because it's too big for the bag, dude. Oop. So that was the finished product, or finished result. Also, another thing I wanted to show you guys is I heat treated the bolts that actually mounts the hub assemblies, and I also heat treated my sliders. It's been a problem since I bought the truck. So just took them to the wire wheel, heat treated them, make sure there's no rust that builds up on the head, and hopefully these guys hold more grease and makes it easier the next time I go to do a brake job. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat treat the bolts that mount the caliper bracket. These big dudes here. It's going to take a little more time to heat them up, but I'll show you guys that process. And just give this truck a little bit of love. It's been needing it for a while. Actually, it's been needing it since I owned it. So, alright, we'll be back. Dead sexy. The map gas is hot, dude. Really hot. Especially if you run it for a while, you see the tip get hot.
Yeah.
This keeps getting hot and hotter the longer it runs. So you can turn it up and then just turn it down a little bit and it'll be at the same temperature it was as when the valve was previously opened before. More open. Is this your water? I don't know where that came from. It looks really good right now though. I was willing to chance it. So when you're heating up these bolts, it's going to go through a heat stage, a color cycle. It's going to go from a natural steel color to kind of a light brown, then a dark brown, almost a red. It's going to turn from that into a kind of a dark blue. It'll go into a purple, dark purple. And soon after that, it'll start fading back to almost a clear, natural steel color. And it'll be a little bit brighter than it was when it was room temperature. And that's when you want to dip in the oil. You don't want to quench it. You want to dip it just enough to get the oil on to have the bolt. See, it's going dark purple now. And the blue, a little purple, dark, dark. Coming back to a light blue. Actually, I'm sorry, I missed that step. So from purple to a light blue, and see it's going back to steel. Now we're going to dip it.
like I was saying, you don't want to quench it. Don't keep it in the oil. Just dip the bolt just enough to get the oil on it and back in the flame. And if you got a little bit too hot, it's cool to leave it in the oil for just a second longer so you can get this guy to cool enough to keep the oil on the surface in order for it to burn. But the key is to actually burn the oil on the surface. You want to get the bolt hot enough for the oil to burn, but you don't want to get too hot for the bolt to burn the oil before the flame gets to it. I've been doing this about 9-10 times until I get a nice dark sheen, until I'm comfortable with the exterior coating on the bolt. Because the key is to create a coating, a layer, to where moisture won't be able to soak into the pores of the metal at all. So as you keep doing this, it'll keep getting darker and darker. You want to get it to a point where it's just consistently the same color. As far as the coating that you're creating. And honestly, you can keep doing this as long as you want, as long as you keep the bolt warm enough. Going a little long on this one, but it's because it's staying cool, or it's staying warm. It's starting to cool down now. And what I'm doing is just wiping off the most of the oil. You don't want to quench it. You just want to let it dry naturally. You want it to cool naturally. It's going to take a while, but it's worth it. And then when they're cool, you can really buff them out and make them look really, really nice. But yeah, that's the process of heat treating them. That's what I did to all the other bolts. These ones are a little bit harder. It took a little bit longer, but this MAP gas, it got this steel really hot really quick. So if you guys using MAP gas, just watch out. You can overheat it really quick. I overheated the bolts that were for the hub assemblies. I overheated those really easily. But all you gotta do is just let it set down, or just set it down, grab another one, start heating it up. And by the time that one's heated up, you can grab the other one. It'll be cooled down enough for you to be able to dip in the oil and get the burning action going on. So yeah, that's the process. Let these guys dry off, and then we're gonna grab the hubs and we're gonna start assembling. So we'll be back in a second.
Alright guys, so it's been about half hour, 40 minutes. They're dry, and this is the kind of the sheen that you get, the look. And what I meant about buffing these things is to grab it with a clean rag. Just give it a nice little twist, give it some loving. You end up with a lighter looking coating. You can buff it as much as you want. But that right there, to me, looks better than any other coating that you can actually put on it, because it's just that raw steel look. But you can tell it's been altered just a bit. But yeah, I know I talked about the heat cycles, but also what I was dipping it in was just some clean 530 motor oil. You can use any oil, anything that you like, pork fat, bacon fat. I use motor oil because it's cleaner. Right, actually it is the cleanest oil that we can get our hands on, and it leaves the metal with a nice sheen. If you use used motor oil, it'll just end up looking more blackened. It'll just have more carbon on it. This won't look as nice. The functionality will be the same. This won't look as good as this. But and also keep your oil in a metal cup. I use this cut off monster can here, and I had my oil in a Dixie cup, and you guys can see what it did. The oil got so hot I actually started to melt the cup. And I'm not sure if I touched that with the bolt or not, but yeah, it started leaking. So that's why I had to grab that monster cup there. But yeah, just want to fill you guys in on that. We're gonna get these guys all buffed out, get them ready to go, and on the truck. This method actually goes back to all the way back, I don't know, 1700s, back before motor oil was even made. A lot of the blade makers that made swords and knives and even guns. That's what they would do to protect their metal from the weather. So yeah, get this cleaned up and ready for assembly. Alright, be back in a minute. Yo, so these are the parts that I'm going to install. Honestly, shout out to the Dmax store for hooking it up with these sick parts. Oh, sorry little bud. Got a torque dude. Torque is crossing through right now. Kinda got sketched out for a second. But yeah, now I got the Kryptonite sealed hub assemblies for the Dmax 2500 2008 LMM. These are awesome. They're about $255 a piece from the Dmax store. Kryptonite has a lifetime warranty. I highly recommend their parts. They are amazing. Along with the Dmax store, they are a good combination. The Dmax store actually builds these CVs. I'm not sure if they... I'm sorry, I retarded my last name. I'm not sure if they build them, but they're offered from the Dmax store, and they have a Dmax store warranty on them. So they are a very, very nice piece also. I like the full collars. I'm very happy with these pieces. I don't know. I would say these pieces are pretty much perfect. But yeah, shout out to the Dmax store. You guys are awesome. I'm about to get these parts installed and show you guys how it goes. Oh yeah, I did purchase the O-rings that go inside of the hubs to keep the moisture from getting inside past the hub assembly housing that goes inside of the hub carrier. And I got some new caps. So shout out to you guys. You're awesome. It's dope. Chillin'. It's a beautiful day out here today. What's up, Cheetah Cheese? How you doing, buddy? I like the way that fit in there, dude. Felt good.
That's what she said.
She probably wouldn't have said dude though, that's why I'm laughing. I don't need that socket, dude. My fingers are just like straight slipping on this bolt right here.
What's that?
We're missing a big ass part. Well, it's not really big, it's kinda light, yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot
that
of
plate?
space, though. Yeah. It looked really good going on though, you know?
Yep.
Alright, sorry guys, messed that one up. It's been a couple days. Job took a little bit longer than it should have. But took our time. Gave it some love, you know? Love always takes time. taking a brake bar to it, guys, just for a little bit of peace of mind. I didn't wrench on it too tight. I just got a little bit more of a turn, maybe an eighth of a turn out of each one. Just because it's a little hard to access it with the CV axle in there. You can get to it, but it's very hard to strip the heads. So it's a little bit of peace of mind, tighten them a little bit more just because I'm in here and I've got the access with the CV axle out. Got a 180 out. That's why it fits so good around the freaking wheel speed sensor cable here. It's to go on like this. First bolt that's been stiff. That's cool. Kryptonite symbol ended up being right in the center of the top. Works out. C20. What was it? Manufacturer number or something. What's up, Tito's? What you doing, buddy? Huh?
How many
Brett, she's in. Ice grips, best tool to pull out plastic. Totally, dude. What's up, Franz? Got this one on. It's tightened down. I wish I knew the torques on it. I mean, that's really how we should be doing stuff, but I just did it. Good and tight. But I removed the inner wheel well to go ahead and connect this guy up, so I couldn't get to it. The little flap was in my way. Grab some air and blow up that connector real quick. So I'm just trying to give you guys a visual of actually what I'm doing here. Alright. So, it's working on routing this cable here. It's got this big old beefy clip. Looks like something from the OEM. But I do not have an OEM hub carrier on this strip. So it doesn't have this receiver. This guy. I'm just going to run this back this way. Run it on the inside of the upper control arm. And then we're going to route it up to the top of the shock tower here. I guess that's what you can call it. Shock carrier. Upper shock carrier. And the connector to this guy is just right here. And then there are actually two little, what do you call these? Connector tabs, connector holders. There's holes in the actual upper shock carrier. And so what I'm going to do is grab a handy little vice grips here. We're going to push out the old ones so we can get the new ones in.
we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna route it up. This first little connector here, little clip guy, is gonna go into the hole here on the side of the shock mount. The second one is gonna push into the hole that's directly behind the upper, what do you call it? This is the shaft of the shock, just behind the stud of the shock. Just behind it, to the right a little bit. Stick that guy in there. But what we're gonna do is connect these two first. Bam. Select this carrier, and we are nice and secure, so we don't have any trouble of this guy losing connection. We're going to either break in from here or break in from here because we don't have proper mounting. It's not gonna work. These gotta be bigger hubs. Plus the other one didn't have. Wait. Hang on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
You think you need to have the wheel turn the other way? You got one of those bolts just to slide through?